Hello, my name is Austin Wrights, and I'm going to be showing you how to make a DIY version of Operation, the well-known board game. So we're going to have all the basic parts where you go in and you pick out all the little pieces without touching the edges, and you're kind of going in like a doctor trying to get the bones or organs out of the patient. So we're going to go over the different materials you need for this project, which is a paper plate, which will be what you're going to draw it on, a 3-volt battery, the battery holder, which we'll get to, LED light, the alligator clips, the tape, scotch tape, copper tape, scissors, something to color with, markers, and tweezers. Here are a few learning outcomes that you'll hopefully take away from this project. You can define what a simple circuit is, and we'll go over that, understand and complete some instructions, be able to assess and adapt to any problems that come up as you're trying to do this project, and through this hopefully demonstrate how the simple circuit works through your actual working operation game once you're done. Before we begin, we want to go over what a simple circuit is. So a circuit is the path an electrical current travels on, and there are 3 necessary components to make a functional simple circuit. So the first thing you need is a source of voltage, which is going to be our battery. The second thing is a resistor, so that will be our LED light in this case, and a conductive path, which is where flows from the battery to the resistor and back, which will be the copper tape. Here's a diagram of the parallel circuit. The cell at the top, it would be our battery, and the positive end goes through the copper tape, the black line, and through the light bulb, which is our LED, and then back again to the negative side of the battery. And for this is in parallel because you have 2 resistors going through 2 different paths as opposed to one path. So first thing you want to do is draw your patient. So any figure you want. This one is going to be a cat, and then the organ you're going to be picking out in the game, which is this case a heart. And you want to make the heart big enough for the tweezers to pull out an object. And here are the 3 basic components of the simple circuit that we were talking about. The battery, the LED light, and the copper tape. And we want to check initially if the battery and the light work, or else this whole thing isn't going to work. So on the LED light, there's a shorter leg and a longer leg. And the longer leg is positive, the shorter leg is negative. And you can see on the battery, the positive side is marked and the other side is negative. And you want to match the positive to the negative so it lights up. Make sure it works before we start. Next, we're going to cut a hole where our shape is, our organ, and then we're going to puncture a small hole somewhere outside of our figure where the LED light is going to stick out. So you want to make it big enough so that bulb can stick out. Next, we're going to flip the plate over and draw a line from your organ on the back side of the plate to the hole we just made. And then draw a little box, which is going to be the size of our battery holder. And wherever the light is where the positive charge is going to be, and on the opposite end is going to be the negative charge. Once we make sure that the battery holder fits, we're going to put the battery in the battery holder. And we want to make sure the positive side is facing up. Slide it into the 3 prongs and push, and you're good. Then comes the tricky part, is the copper tape. So we gotta peel really small pieces of copper tape and put it around our organ, or our hole, which is the heart here. Make sure that it goes all the way around both ends of the edges of the organ. So when you push it around, you want both edges to be completely covered in the copper tape. much more helpful to put smaller pieces in. After you successfully put copper tape on both edges of the heart, you'll want to connect the copper tape to where our battery holder is going to go. So that means putting pieces of strips of copper tape along the line we drew. And make sure both ends of the copper tape touch each other. And we want to make sure that we put the right leg of the LED light in the right side of the battery. So that means the longer leg, the positive leg, is going to go on the positive end of the battery holder. And we don't want to break it or twist it because it's really fragile. But we do want to leave enough room when we do secure the longer leg to the positive end of the battery holder that there's enough room for the LED light to poke out of our plate. And you want to leave that negative side intact too, so that it can connect to the copper tape on our plate when we place it down. So make sure the LED light goes through first. Then make sure the negative end is flush with the copper tape. And then we got to secure that battery and battery holder with our Scotch tape. Make sure it stays on the plate. So the leg negative end can be taped down to the copper tape. Make sure it's connected and touching. Then the battery holder has to be secure to the plate. So put a piece of tape on that too. Make sure it's secure. Now we can connect our alligator clips. So we're going to have one end connected to the negative part of the battery and the other to our tweezers. So once this is done, we can now test to see if the LED light will light up when we touch the edge of the copper tape with the tweezers. And if it does, then awesome, you're all set to go. You can begin playing Operation. So if we put a little tiny object in, we can try and play and retrieve it out. You touch the edge, you lose, of course. Ta-da, not too bad. Let's go. All right, now you could add a second shape, which will be our second organ that we can retrieve in our Operation game. Just draw another shape somewhere in your figure and cut it out. And we're going to do the same thing as we did with the heart. Cover it with copper tape. Edges, both sides must be completely covered. And then cut out a small strip to connect it to our previous strip. Hopefully this works. Just test your tweezers and touch the new shape with the tweezers, and if it lights up, you're all good to go. Make sure to throw away your trash. Never forget to clean up. And thanks for watching the video. Hope you learned a lot.